Hello, 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 everybody. Woo. Y'all, when I say I was ready to come in at 127, I was. And then I dropped the phone, and then the charge came out, and things just started falling. Oh, my goodness. Let's see if I can catch this. I didn't. Whew. All right. How is everyone on this beautiful Saturday? Good morning, gorgeous. How are you? Okay, I don't know if I have the right angle or not, and I apologize if I don't. All right, so let's breathe and then start. Hello, everybody. Welcome in the den. I am your Mama Koogah, aka Kitty Lane, that baby boomer from the peninsula in Virginia, and we are here with another. Come on in the den in Create and Relates Kittyville. Ah, now that we breathe, hello, my twin and stitches. How are you this morning? So, we are steady at 551 subscribers. We are over that 1,500 mark. We're still working on it. Hello, Vivian. How are you? Nice to see you this morning. And we have lots, but not a lot to show. No, we have a lot, but not lots to show. Okay. Breakfast. Y'all, my breakfast was fantabulous. My daughter made breakfast burritos, which consisted of scrambled eggs and cheese, um, Yorkshire farm sausage, onions, lettuce, tomatoes, all wrapped in a tortilla wrap. But it was delish, absolutely delish, and it was perfect. Topped off with fruit. I had the watermelon and the cantaloupe. They had grapes and strawberries. I'm growing to be a textured person. I never have really liked the meat of the strawberry. I love strawberry flavoring, but I don't I don't care for the texture of the strawberry in my mouth. I'm growing that way towards grapes as well. That's why I didn't have all the fruits that everyone else had. But it was fantabulous what I did have. Okay, I do have my coffee. The only thing I can tell you about my coffee is that it's Folgers Black Silk. I don't know how much it is. I don't know how much creamer is in it. It is all a surprise to me this morning. And it came to me, you hear that? Psst. It came to me just before we started. So, whoa, that's good. I sent her to the store yesterday to get creamer. I don't even know what kind of creamer she got. I don't. I don't taste rich vanilla. I would say probably the creamery, the sweet creamery, and a little hint of caramel. So I'm thinking it's probably those two mixed. I'll find out when it's over. I also have Mountain Dew left from the other day. It's probably so flat, all the tires need to be changed on the bottle. But I love it when it's flat because I hate the bubbles. Beside me, I have a bag of bags. Yes. What would my life be without a bag of bags? Okay. Um, Drink, I have a bottle and a half of water. Of course, you saw the Mountain Dew. And now we reached that very important part of our live where I would like for everybody to please drop me an egg in the comments. Just drop me an egg in the comments. I did have my eggs this morning. They were fried with, they were scrambled with cheese. So I did have my eggs this morning. Before we get on to finished objects, I want to show you where I am this month. So far with my ball bands, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That is very much behind, but I can see where a lot will be caught up in this week. And now advancing to finished objects. Well, a finished object. I told y'all that I was going to start making baskets. My first basket project was a laundry basket. And I chose to make it smaller than I originally intended. And the reason I wanted to make it smaller is because I tend to want to overload the machine. So I figured if I had a laundry basket to kind of dictate the size, then that would tell me, hey, it's time to go put those in the machine. And that way I won't overload the machine. So here I am with the laundry basket. Absolutely love it. Made the tops so that I didn't necessarily need a handle. I had a little high concave here in the back. And then as the top row, when I got to the finishing round, I just did a slip stitch all the way around with a smaller hook. I used my Susan Bates 8, which is an L hook, to do this, and 5 strands of 4 worsted weight yarn, all scrap yarn. I broke my Susan Bates 8L hook. So when it came to doing the last round, I had to go down to a K. And now it won't come apart. It's a good thing. I didn't glue it back together, but in working with it, oh, there it is. I have 2 separate pieces. We know a girl is not happy with that. We know. We know. We know. So it looks like I'm going to have to be getting another one of these because my house robe is worked with this hook. And that is one of the things that I plan on visiting soon. Another thing that I've started doing, and this is my grouping, I will say, to take care of our G. I charted out my whips. The reason I did this is because I don't want to get overwhelmed with whips. Originally, I said I was going to have 10 spaces, but in everything that I want to do, I decided to give myself 15. I only have 12 done, but it's going to be 3 more blocks down here. And as I finish something, which I have finished something this morning, I can do just like I do in my book, which I will be going back to the book. But this way, I don't have to flip pages. And today's date is the 13th. So I have my first heart as completed here. And then on the 13th, and that is my laundry basket. I also have another basket that I started on Monday. This one is going to be oval shaped. And it's going to be probably just about the size of this one on the bottom. I don't know how tall it's going to be yet. Haven't figured that out. And I don't know if it's going to be a yarn basket or if I'm gifting it to one of the grandbabies. I know that my baby girl likes these colors. And it is going to be all shades of pinks and reds. So that just might be hers. Another thing that I started this week, which I showed you all on Thursday, um, I had to replace the bag on my scooter. So I have one panel done. It is considerably taller than the other. The reason is it hangs in front of me, and I wear a lot of dresses. So this will help protect my goodies as I'm riding down the road. I don't have to worry about maneuvering my clothes so much. I have this hanging directly in front of me so I can be comfortable when I'm riding. And like I said, the one panel is done, and I have started on the second panel. These, are, of course, are going to be the front and back panels. I only have the bottom panel left, which is going to be in gray. These are all Premier Just Yarn colors. So I have the gray, I have Storm. Let's see if you can see it better. Okay. We have gray, we have Storm, we have lemon, which reminds me more of butter, and we have rose. I wanted to go with the primary colors, kind of, I know the word that I'm looking for. It's not antique. Y'all help me out. Vintage. I wanted to give it kind of a vintage look in the primary colors, which is why I chose these colors. So that is going to be in the works. Okay, there it is. In the works today. For that, I am using my 6.0 Prim hook. So we're praying that it doesn't do something crazy, like break. The other things that I have on the whip list thus far is the Wedding Bliss blanket, which I can show you that one. We got as far as working with the second blue. And I just recently found out that they're out of town for 2 weeks, which is one of the reasons I put it down for right now. I'm like, oh, I can get some other stuff done real quick. So they're out of town for 2 weeks. They decided to take a late honeymoon. They wanted to wait until it got warm to take their honeymoon, which I don't blame them. I don't blame them at all. But this is their blanket thus far. Woo! Yeah. Mind you, I said thus far, and just of the blue that we're working on, which is Mainstay Teal, we have a skein and a half to go with that one, which I'm looking at approximately 3 more rounds. Yeah, we're looking at about 3 more rounds using the Mainstay Teal. And it might be more, because like I said, this is a little more than a half skein. And I have that to go in another whole skein. So it might be more. And then from there, we're going to be using the Hoops and Thread Reef. Reef is the colorway here. And we have 4 skeins of this. Each one of these skeins is 354 yards. Of course, it's full worsted weight. The entire blanket is full worsted weight. I wanted to make something to not only show my appreciation for everything they do for me, but to tell a story as well. And the story goes that a young lady finding her way in life, going through, you'll see the texture, so going through the different rocky roads of her life and having the dream that we all have, all of us ladies have, of one day being a bride. So you'll see a diamond. And as she's building into that beautiful young woman, she meets a guy. And they're kind of mingling and mixing to become who they've become, him becoming the man of the relationship, ultimately protecting his, his marriage, his wife, his home. So that's the darker blue, and this is going to be the outer blue. I have come up with a border in my mind. It's going to be like little baskets, I think, if it works out mathematically. And that's what I'm looking for there. I'm looking to do that. I did not see any eggs. I don't know if I missed them, but I called myself facing the screen so that I didn't have to look away too much. I don't know how many of you remember this one, but this is also on the list of things to be done, which I call this one the C2C heart. And it's a combination of the closed and the open windows. And then there's going to be a giant red heart in the middle. Joy, joy. So there's that. Okay, those are for the laundry basket. Here we have the brother's blanket. We're almost finished with the green. And then he will have his blanket. It just basically throws just something that they'll know that someone was thinking of them and that somebody out here loves them. And they kind of call my daughter Mama. So I guess that'd be Grandma again. And I don't mind at all. And this one, of course, is for the brother. And this one is for the sister. You see hers, it's gotten a little bit of work too. And there we are with the sisters so far. The brothers was more scrap. The sisters was plain. These are my colors. They're all loops and thread, except no, they're all loops and thread. Yeah, they're all loops and thread. Before these projects came into play, I had not worked with loops and threads before. I could fight myself for not experiencing this long ago. Loops and threads is amazing. It is an amazing yarn to work with. It is. Okay, so I got Caleb's blanket, this blanket, Wedding Bliss, Scooter. The spread blanket is back there. I'm not pulling it out. The travel basket, I said blanket, but it's basket, and my robe, which is back here. And I am also pulling down today the carpenter's wheel to do some work on that this week. So I have plenty of items. I currently have 10 items. And of these items that I have to work on this week, hopefully by Saturday, I will be able to show you more completed items. Phew. So that is the focus and going forth. Now, for our healthometer, the healthometer is pretty good. I can't really complain. As far as the mental is concerned, I'm pretty up there. I'm good. Um, Still got some stressors going on, but I'm dealing with them in a different way. And it's all leading back to the insurance thing. It is what it is. Um, Got a phone call yesterday. Supposed to be having another meeting on Thursday via telephone. And the IRS got thrown into it. They scared the bejesus out of me at first, and then we got that straightened out. So hopefully by Thursday, the entire thing will be straightened out, and we'll be well on our way. Okay. Jay, jokes of the day. So because I don't have any quotes of the day, I'm going to be sprinkling jokes from this point. Like, hmm, why did the hairdresser win the race? Why did the hairdresser win the race? Can anybody tell me? Okay, so the hairdresser won the race because they knew a shortcut. I thought that was cute. Yeah, I thought that was cute. I really, really did. Let me go ahead and give you the second one here. So, where do pirates go to shop? Where do pirates go to shop? Where do pirates go to shop? Okay. They go to the secondhand store. Oh my goodness. Gotta love them. Um, just to let me know that you all are here. Oh, let me tell you before we get to that part, I did manage to get a short video up last week, this week, earlier this week. It seems that the longer videos are the ones that I'm having trouble uploading. And we know that the Crochet with Kitty videos are generally lasting somewhere between 30 to 45 minutes. I think the video that I got up was right around 20. Hello, Racine. How are you? I'm so happy to see you. I am. Um, the the longer videos, for some reason, are the ones that I'm having trouble uploading. So I'm going to keep working on that and keep reaching out to see if I can get help as to how to do it. Uh, the editing tool that I'm using is Canva, and it seems that they're pushing me to use the premium, and we just can't add that to our budget right now. So we're looking for free editing tools, and we're trying to see what we can do to make better quality videos. I would really love to that for you all and for me as well. Um, y'all know I wrote everything down. I haven't changed. I have not changed it all. Okay, so as for the, and it escaped me just that fast. L. We have reached the L portion. And what I would like from you at this point, please drop me a lime slice or write out the word lime or whatever in the comments, just so that I know you're here with me. Just drop in a little lime slice just to let me know you're here. Like I said, as of right now, we have 10 items on our whip list. And I am planning on Saturdays and Sundays are I call them second win workhorse days because Thursday afternoons, Friday, and the first part of Saturday morning are the first portion of it. Thank you, sis. But they're the first portion of it. Um, Thank you, Racine. Um, the second portion, of course, is when I get off here today, and it'll be like the rest of the day, Sunday and Monday. Now, this will change a little. I won't have um, as much time as I've had because now the kids are out of school. I get to be grandma all day. I like being grandma. I do. Thank you, Lori. Also, I put a list of people. I wanted to let you know what was going on in the neighborhood. Okay. So, in the neighborhood, of course, we have Yes Michelle Crochets. She did have her live this morning. She will be going live again this evening, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 7 o'clock Central Time. So, if you want to catch her, and she has some really cool trivia questions, just hanging out with her and crocheting. That's how I got this basket finished. That's exactly how I got this basket finished. So you can definitely get things done. Plenty of laughs. Bring your water or whatever drink you desire. Hop on in and just join in the fun. She also does the Cozy Encyclopedia. I am so, 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 so proud of her with the Cozy Encyclopedia because not only does she bring stitches to you and show you what the stitches are, she breaks the anatomy of the stitches down so that you know what each component of that stitch is, how it serves, and how it's supposed to look. And sometimes, we take certain things for granted. We just do because it's supposed to be done. But when you understand the why behind it, it gives it a whole different purpose. So the way she goes through and breaks down these stitches, I think is really, really helpful, even to the seasoned crocheter. You know, um, she's done the slip knot, slip stitch, chain, uh, single crochet, half double crochet, double treble. I'm sorry, and the double treble. Now, coming up is another fascinating stitch. I'm going to let you check it out so that you can see what it is. Lori is still hanging in there with the stories, getting yarn back in its place slowly, and I understand it's a process. And all I'm asking you is please continue to send her good vibes, lots of energy, so that she can get that going. Lori also deals with migraines. I have migraines myself, so I know, among other health issues, which she and I share a lot of. So I understand that it's not as easy. Hello, Jennifer. How are you? So happy to see you. But I understand. Yes, I understand that it's been a process, Lori, and my heart goes out to you. And I understand that it's not as easy as people say. Well, just go ahead and put the yarn up. No, when it's a struggle, I know for me to walk like from my bedroom to the kitchen, and then I have to sit down and rest before I do anything else. And then to do the next task and to have to stop and rest. The next task, stop and rest. When you always have to do that, you have to approach life differently than, people that can go ahead on and get it in their minds to do this and they go ahead on and do it. It's very different when you're dealing with other issues. So, like I said, our hearts and prayers are right there with you, Lori, and we're sending you lots of energy and lots of love. You got this. Okay. Juan, of course, is back from his vacation. He's dropping podcasts and whipping it with Juan's and, his regular videos, the live videos. Don't forget to go over there on, I call it Juan Boulevard, and check him out. Um, I always have to list Joan and say thank you to Joan because a lot of channels have moderators. Joan is more like my personal moderator. She's the one that calls to make sure I'm up in the morning, make sure I'm feeling okay, keep me reminded on what I need to be working on. I don't not even necessarily just crocheting, but in life, period. Did you make this phone call? Did you contact that person? Have you done this? Have you done that? And I so appreciate her for that. I really, really do. She keeps me on my toes. So she always has to have her place on in the neighborhood as well. Always, always, always. Um, Something I left out. Okay, let me go back to Jacky. Jacky has a Hands Across Glamerica going on. She recently posted that someone asked her, suppose she gets more squares than she thought she was going to get. Of course, she said that would be a good thing. And she would just have to restructure the way she did things. What she wants is everybody to send duplicate squares, duplicate 8-inch squares, something to represent where you're from. And she's going to make a blanket out of one set of those squares, and a lucky winner from the wheel spin will get the other set. And they can put the squares together however they choose. Um, which I think is a good idea. But if she gets hit with more than she thought, then she's looking at the possibility of sending two sets of squares out so people can do with them as they please. I think that's a pretty neat idea. It's a way to get people involved, and you don't know if you're getting yours back and some, or if you just get to watch and see how your squares get incorporated with everybody else's. Um, Camille's Creations, the Stitcherhood donation blankets is still going on. I still have my second one back here. I found 3 more balls of yarn, and I'm like, is this enough to go around 2 times? We're going to work it out and see. We're going to work on it and see how it works out. If not, the blanket itself is done. But if I can make it bigger and more beautiful, then I absolutely will. Um, as of right now, the post office says that they cannot find anything about the package that I sent before. And my receipt got wet and I threw it away. Um, I can show them where the purchase was made from showing them my bank account, but it doesn't have the tracking information on my bank account. And I've made the determination that from now on, when I send something, I'm going to take a picture of the receipt right then. I'm not going to wait until I leave. I'm taking the picture before I leave the counter. My fear is that somehow the package came open and someone saw it and liked the blanket. And my hope, if that is the case, is that it's something that they needed. Something that they needed, and I'll just have to double down and make another one. It hurts my heart. It really does because it was an original creation. Most blankets that I do are original creations. And usually when they go out something specific like that, I kind of like for it to get there. But I'm not going to let that deter me from sending blankets. I will try to duplicate that one. It will not be in the same colorway because one of those colors was discontinued. and I'd have to go with a different color scheme. But it is what it is. You live and you learn. So that's where that is. Um, who else is in the neighborhood? Of course, we have Vivian who is here with us today. And we've got BB who I've not seen. I saw BB Thursday, and that was the first time in a while I had seen BB. Those of you who don't know, a large part of the reason I'm able to make a lot of these blankets to donate come from three individuals, BB, Lori, and Deb. I won 5 pounds of yarn from Deb when Lori had her celebration. And I also got a large amount of yarn from Lori along with 2 furl hooks. And BB sent me, oh my goodness, I got yarn on top of yarn, underneath yarn, beside yarn, and around yarn to put the little fillers in from BB. And I also got a streamline from my first furl hook I got from her. Lori keeps me updated with like the lighted hooks and the interchangeable hook heads. And I'm excited. I feel like I've graduated from um, uh, young crochet son to teenage young crochet son. You know, I still have a ways to go. I have, I'm going to for lunch and take care of the rest of the weekend. Racine, I'm so happy that you were here. Love you. Be careful this weekend. And please, please, please stay safe and know that we love you. Love you. Want you to love you too. Hello, Robin. How are you? So happy to see you. So, like I said, those are my plans over the week. Let me see, who else is in the neighborhood? Who else is in the neighborhood? My heart. The reason we have such beautiful thumbnails. I purposely did this because I haven't seen her yet. Okay, I understand. I understand. But Khadijah, yes, Khadijah. When I say my thumbnails, y'all, thank you for asking about. Oh, um, Khadijah gets an idea and she turns it into the most beautiful thumbnails. I can't even say that I have a favorite because there is one. There's the robotic. There's the bionic kitty. Excuse me. The most recent one is literally a bionic kitty. Cat ears, cat tail, the whole thing. And the thumbnail from today, if you look at the turtle shell, it's crocheted. How phenomenal is that? How phenomenal is that? And it kind of gave me an idea of something to work on in the future for like maybe a Halloween costume or something. And that's to make a big a turtle or tortoise shell, make some long green gloves, some long green, what do they call them, leg warmers. I see me being a turtle in the future. Top it off with some little cat ears. I can be an anomaly. I sure can. Oh my goodness. Okay. Um, so yes, that's what's going on in Kittyville. Uh, and of course we have others that are sprinkled throughout. And we're happy. Just don't remember. Don't forget to come in and visit everybody. It's becoming a lost art, y'all. It really is. The fellowship, the communication. Every now and then I'll reach out to Dory just to say, hey. I'll reach out to Auntie Stella just to say, hey, Mama C, hey. Not necessarily to take up forever time or whatever, but just to let them know that they crossed your mind or that you're thinking about them. They have this amazing tool in YouTube called called the community post. And you can pop in there and say, hey, how you doing? Thought about you. And that's all it takes for a lot of people a lot of times. It really is. Just to let them know that you're thinking about them. It means the world. Okay. We're gonna move on to there was no quote of the day, so we're moving on to our which is the reminder. And I know Joan and Dee don't like this one, but I love you all. I really do. And I want to remind you, excuse me, I am so sorry. I want to remind you of your 30 minutes of organization and your daily journal for documentation. I'm just saying, if you're like me or in my position, if you can donate 30 minutes a day just to straighten something, clean something, rearrange something, reorganize something, whatever, then that's 30 minutes that you've put into it. You've exerted that energy and you made something look better for that day. And lots of times, if we do it the way I've been doing it here lately, I started with a small project and I made it a big project and then I detailed everything I did. So the following week, or the following day rather, when I went on to the next project, I was able to just come back and touch. I'm sorry, come back and touch project number one up. Day three comes along. I'm doing day three project. Shut that down a little early, touch up days one and two. And it has become so simple because the touch up, instead of being that 25 to 30 minutes that I invested in the beginning, it's now 2 minutes just to touch it up, just to touch it up. And that's a lot better. It feels a lot better. It is a lot better. But you're constantly keeping things going and you're keeping your body moving. And that's ultimately what we want to look for. I do apologize for oversleeping yesterday for Flex Friday. But even if I don't show up for you guys, I want you to remember that before you start crocheting, right after you get up for your day, the early morning stretches or the just when you wake up stretches are the best ones to have because it loosens, it loosens you up for the day. It's just like with the organization thing. If you put that total energy in when you first start for the day, if you put that energy in and you get it all going, and as you're crocheting or as you're going throughout the day, stop and stretch that neck a little bit. You did it that morning. Okay, now you're good to go. You feel those shoulders getting a little lax, then bring them all in. Because you did that this morning already. You're just reminding your muscles of what you've already done. Ooh, there you go. Kind of hunch those muscles a little bit. Maybe you want to flex those arms. Oh, whatever it takes, just to remind your muscles, hey, we stretched. We got the big stretch out of the way. This is just to remind you, muscles, we got a job to do. So I'm gonna need you to hang in there. So that's what you do throughout the day. 15, 20 minutes of crocheting. Just stop and flex your fingers. Get a sip of water, and then go back to work. Or if you're cleaning around the house and say you've swept the entire living room, dining room, and kitchen, And now you're going back with the wet jet. Between those, bend those legs, you know, stretch those sides, remind those muscles of what they need to keep doing for you. And then reach over, grab you a sip, and then go ahead and wet jet it. You know, you'll find that at the end of the day, you feel a lot better. You don't feel as exhausted, as tired. Your muscles are not as tight because you've been loosening them throughout the day. And it's very important to do that. We are approaching ages in our lives where we tend to become a lot more sedentary, and our muscles in the course of a day forget everything they're supposed to be doing. So at the end of the week, when you stand up, it's like, oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I got to put one foot in front of the other. Oh, okay. Whew, all right. We got that done. But you want to prevent that. So if you feel these things tightening up as you go, then you want to, like I said, just stop, take a couple of moments, and just remind those muscles, hey, we got this to do. We got that to do. It's like playing softball and you're in the fourth inning and you're up to bat. Well, you haven't batted the whole game. So before you start, when you're in the batter's circle, you know, you're doing those stretches and whatnot with the bat. I still remember those, you know. And it's just loosening you up. It's telling your muscles, hey, we got a job to do. You know, I want you primed. I want you peaked for the job that we have to do. You know, we can relax or whatever, but right now this is what we need to do. And I don't want to go into it cold. So that is why we do that. Guys, I think I have gone over everything I had to go over. I've, it's at the end of these sessions that I realized that, Kitty, you talk a lot. And I do, and I love it, and I love it. Hello, Michelle. I just got to talking about you. I sure did. I did. But like I said, I am so happy to be able to bring to you everything that I bring to you. I am happy that you all are here to receive it. And I'm super happy when you all respond back and let me know. The one last thing that I would like for you all to do for me is, oh, thank you, sis. Thank you. What I would like for everybody to do is drop a purple heart in the comments for me. And for those of you who are catching this on replay, at those particular moments, if you could drop the same emojis. It was just 3 emojis today. And if you could drop the emojis during that time, I would really, 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 really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. My grandson picked out the dress. He did. I understand, Michelle. I understand. I understand. I'm going to be crocheting like crazy today. I have a lot on my plate for this week on my crochet plate. That's something else I wanted to bring forth to you all. Uh, I'm not going to say instead of journaling because I really, really am very much an advocate for journaling. If it's something that you need a visual of, if you need to see it, I learned this in therapy, y'all. My therapist had me to do something like this on a cardboard. She told me to get a piece of cardboard and we were going to make it my plate. And everything that I had on my plate that was causing concern, worry, extra thought, I had to use sticky notes and just put them all over my plate. Well, what I decided to do was make a control plate, 15 boxes, and all of my whips are going in these boxes. I can't put, I have 3 empty, I'm going to have 3 empty boxes down here. I cannot add anything else here until 2 of these get done. So the goal is after this plate is completed, then it will only be half the size as it was. Only half of these products will be filled, spaces will be filled. Eventually, what I plan to do is get a dry erase board so that I can, yes, a brain dump. Um, what I can do is with the dry erase board, I can erase things as I need to, and consolidate things as they're needed. Like this, for right now, it would stay on the board with the red heart, so I would know that it's finished. When that needs to be transported to the book of things, that book is over here, but the book of things that are completed, that page would be done. Of course, when the page is done, that can come off the list, but I'll still have my 15 squares because I don't want to exceed that number. I don't ever want, a few months ago, y'all, I had like 30 something lips, and I had to go through and decide what I was frogging, what I was going to continue to work on, what I needed to go ahead and finish. And with that massive amount, it can put me right there on my pillow because the brain feels like it's about to explode. They do have them, Lori, but they have the different size ones. I've got this one. No, I have the thought of that one. This is one that I have. It was actually gifted to me. I love this one. I plan to utilize this one as things progress. And what I'm going to do is put the channel schedule on this one so that it will be posted on my door for everybody on the other side of my door to see what I have going on this week. I'm not putting doctor's appointments or anything up here. Right now, my channel is my job. So they get to see when I work and what I'm doing. I mean, even when I plan on recording videos, when I can get back to that, all of that's going up here. Whatever creating related is having going on, right? In the future, Sundays will probably be my day off. On Mondays, it's going to be, when I get straightened out, it'll probably be tutorials and crochet with Kitty. And then we have our live on Tuesdays. Another crochet with Kitty on Wednesday. Live on Thursday, which is the trivia day. On Fridays, we have our flex and a crochet with Kitty. And on Saturday is when we're bringing it all together and showcasing everything we've done. Sunday being my off day because that's my true, I call it mule day. That's the day I wake up in the morning with the crochet hook in my hand and go to bed at night with probably a different crochet hook in my hand. But things get done. That's when they get done, and it will be a little different now because the kids are out of school. And usually that's the beginning of Jennifer's work week. So she leaves about 4:30-ish. And then shortly after, usually Mickey will come. Well, during the day, I can sit back here and crochet because I have, the other adult here with me. And then after she leaves, then the kids get picked up and I'm here by myself. So I have that day I can crochet. It'll be a little different now, but this whole thing right here is a chore trap for the kids. They're definitely I'll go to Dollar Tree and get their boards because this is for them. This is how they get paid every week. You don't do chore, you don't get paid. You know what? Me no pay. Yeah, that's how that works. So, once again, I have had an absolute fabulous time with you all, as usual. And you know what I tell each of you to do all the time. Love yourselves. Love yourselves. Love yourselves. Why? Because self-love is the greatest love of all. And you cannot love others the way they deserve to be loved unless you first love yourself the way you deserve to be loved. Try it and see. I guarantee you. But remember, Kitty Lane told you. Remember, Kitty Lane loves you. So until we see each other again on these YouTube streets, peace out, everybody. I love you.